talk to Josh. It looks like he's a police officer, huh?
He is a paramedic.
Oh.
And yeah, he when he turned off music, and then also when Peter passed away. I mean, music. Josh is 100% or nothing on stuff, and so when he got out of music, he just got out of music. So
wow. Well, that happened to a lot of our '80s icons too, you know.
But he's still a passionate guy. Whatever he gets involved in, you can bet he's doing it with a passion. So his job being a paramedic now, it is probably one of the most difficult jobs and really a thankless job, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, but I guarantee you he's doing it 1,000%.
All or none.
That's Josh. You know?
That's cool. Well, and then with Peter passing, it's like really there's no typo reunion or nothing, you know.
They grew up. They grew up together, literally just a few houses down from one another. They'd known each other since they were kids. They fought like brothers, but they loved each other like brothers as well.
That must have been a hard time for you too, because you know.
Yeah, it was. I had to pull my truck over to the side of the road because Josh had called me up when it happened, and he said, "What have you heard?" And I said, "I haven't heard anything." He goes, "Why?" And I said, "Why? What's going on?" And he told me, and I went, you know, I was just stunned.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. You know, because he had cleaned up, he was getting himself back into shape again, and you know all this other stuff. But I don't know, maybe it was the wear and tear, and you know, from the hard living previously, just wore him out.
Yeah, and I imagine on the road, man, when you're doing that, you know, all year long, they become like family, you know.
They do, very much, and even all the, you know, the other techs and stuff like that. I'm still in contact with most everybody who I toured with. You know,
that's cool. That sounded like a duck.
Yeah, it's I'm getting Messenger across the top, so it's vibrating. You got to see how I have my phone rigged in a CD jewel case. You know, when you buy a bulk box of CD jewel cases.
Yeah, it's like all big.
Okay, and it's about half empty. So I've still got about another 20 jewel cases down below my phone, and then I'm using the box as a holder while I've got my earbuds plugged in, and it's holding my phone up.
Man.
Because
hey man, I improvise like that. I have a piano stool with the guitar case going at an angle so I can put my tripod and to get the right angle on you.
Yeah.
But who cares?
And you know what? It's getting darker outside, so I'm losing my front lighting, so I'm trying to get a little bit of lighting over here.
I know, I just noticed that. Well, I got I have like a lamp above you. It's actually, the lighting looks really good on my end. It's darker when I look at you on the screen. When I look on the camera, it's really good. I don't know if you have a light.
It's still good. Okay.
But, okay, cool. Let's go to question number... So the crazy experience, I mean, that... I don't know if there's another one, or... I mean, I can't think of any...
There's quite a few. There's, you know, a friend of mine, I'm not going to mention his name, because it could probably get him into trouble.
Uh-oh.
But a guy that came in for a short time to take care of Peter's basses was pretty good with the ladies, and he wouldn't bring them on for his personal reasons. He would bring them on for everybody else, and so he would actually get these girls to strip down and allow hot candle wax to be poured on them, and it just put on the whole show. And it was like, wow. And even we being with Typo, being in an opening slot out on a tour, the headliner band guys were coming over to the opener's crew bus to see this.
Holy cow, you're probably standing around going, what in the hell did I get myself into?
Yep.
Oh, I imagine the things you saw, man, even with Motley, were probably like, holy cow.
Well, no, actually, the years that I was with Motley was post-debauchery.
Yeah?
You know? So, yeah, the guys were, you know, pretty clean living. Most of them, you know, had significant others and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, because that's when, like you said, when Karabi was in the band and stuff, so they were...
Yeah, and then even later on, you know, they all had wives or girlfriends and stuff like that. And, you know, they all had kids, and, you know, the partying stuff was over with.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't get to do the Shout at the Devil and Theater Pain, Girls era. You know, they cleaned up for Feel Good. But those were the days. What is really funny is it wasn't until Theater Pain that I saw my first Motley show, because there was so much stuff going on, and we were still so young. He didn't really want us to be exposed to it, so
right.
Again, being a good parent, making that call. You might not. Yeah, you can see the show. That would be cool, but you'd still have to go through all the stuff backstage, and we can't control. What the other guys are doing.
Exactly. Oh, exactly.
Because how old was I when Shout came out?
Probably 11 or 12.
Yeah, because you're a year older than I am.
Yeah. Shout, I remember I had that in junior high. That had to have been, what was Shout, 82? 83?
83?
Because the US Festival was 83, and they were playing songs off Shout at the Devil.
Right before it was released, yeah. So 83, that would have been I would have turned 12 that summer, so I was 11 years old.
Yeah. So
I was still going to Van Buren Elementary.
Okay. That's before we met.
Yep, right before we met. Because I ended up meeting you the next year, because that's when I went to Harupa in 7th grade, you were in 8th.
That's right. Remember when people used to take the albums, we wouldn't use our Peachy folders, we would use album covers and put all our school papers in it?
I never did that. I saw everybody else did it. I had a Trapper Keeper at first.
Well, that's more user friendly. But I remember Tim Sage was one of the first people to get that Motley album, and I remember him bringing it to school and all the girls running around. You know what I mean? Yep.
I remember meeting Tim out in PE. I think we had Mr. Stocco together.
Oh, I remember Stocco and Miss Burnt.
Yep.
She's missing a finger. Yeah, that's right. That's about right.
Yep, she had her index and her ring, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, where did the years go on my food?
I know. Remember Coach Goldtree?
Yes.
Almost made it to the LA Rams.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he almost made it on the team.
Now, Goldtree was so cool, man. That guy was, he was never my coach, but I talked to him. He was, super friendly.
Yep.
Okay, number 4 from Sarah. How many, I don't know if you would know the answer.
Oh, hang on a second.
It should pop back in, I think.
Yeah.
There we go.
Gosh darn it. Continue. There we go. I'm getting low battery is what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know if you can answer this, or your dad probably can't even answer this. She wants to know how many guitars does your dad own?
Oh, a handful.
Yeah.
A handful. He has a few, the collector thing, but he doesn't collect mint things. He collects stuff to play, He wants to take it home. He wants to record with it or whatever. So he's got a bunch of players is what he has.
Well, you remember back in, I don't know what year it was. It may have been 98 or 99. You took me out to your dad's house in Malibu.
Yeah.
It was me, you, and Doc, as a matter of fact.
Oh, no, that was he had a condo in Marina Del Rey.
Oh, Marina Del Rey.
Yeah, and he took you guys out for a ride in the Beast.
Yeah, well, I remember going in his house, and he took me into the guitar room. It's that real big room off of the kitchen or whatever. And my mouth hit the ground when I seen all these guitars on all the walls. And he goes, "That's not it." And he was showing me he had them in the closet. They were all stacked. And I felt like I was walking into the Hollywood Guitar Center.
Yeah.
But that that was cool. I mean, that was awesome just to be able to go there and chill and just no pressure and hang out. But that's when your dad was going to do the little producing thing that never quite got off the ground.
Right, that was the first time. Then there was the other time later on when you ended up getting that 8-track. My dad gave me that 8-track, and then when he said he was going to try to put together a band that he can produce, not necessarily perform in, but and he wanted to get some of your input and guitar stuff and whatever. We recorded a couple of songs and brought it out to him. That's when he was living in Bell Canyon.
Yeah, and you know, he had told me what to go. Well, for one, I don't know how much of this you remember, but he was talking about getting the drummer from a band called Green Jelly, which
yes, I do remember that.
And he told me go buy, if you can find any, some Strawberry Alarm Clock and some Jimi Hendrix, which I already had a bunch of Hendrix. Because you know, I wanted to find out what vision he wanted, but he wanted a mix of Strawberry Alarm Clock meets Hendrix with a modern touch and. And I'd never heard of Strawberry Alarm Clock, but I did find a couple cassette tapes and bought them.
Yep. Killer guitar player come out of there by the name of Ed King. Ended up being in Leonard Skinner for a while. If anybody takes a listen to Sweet Home Alabama, that is all Ed King on there.
Ooh, didn't know that.
Fantastic guitar player.
Yeah,
he's retired and living in Nashville, not too far from my pop.
Oh, wow. You're like a music encyclopedia. I kind of am, but you know more than I do, man. But you know, you're into a lot of the vintage. You go back into a lot of the vintage players, and I know you're a slide player and a damn good one. Of course, you won't admit it, but you are.
Listen to Buzzy James.
Buzzy James, that's a slide player. Yeah.
Of course, there's lots of other slide players. You know, Warren Haynes and you know, Derek Trucks, you know, all those guys, they're just all fantastic.
Yeah. Just something, you know, I always kind of struggled with slide, but I guess I never sat down. You know, a lot of times you got to do your open tunings, tune to a chord. I think I'm just too lazy to do it.
Yeah, I do, you know, the standard tuning, open E and open G.
Do you?
And, yeah, once you see the chords and see the things where they're at, it's like with anything else, you just know to go there.
You know, it's funny, back in the day, you know, when me and you were teenagers, like, you'd come over and I had a slide, but I didn't really know how to use it, and I didn't understand, I didn't realize slide players would change their tuning to an E major chord. I didn't understand that concept. I don't know if you did back then, but so I just played everything in standard.
I didn't back then. I just try to do, and really the majority of the stuff that you play on, at least for me, is through your G major triad right there.
Right, just a 3-string.
And so that's where you know your A is going to be here and here, and you know you C, D, you know, G is over the top of the 12th, you know, that sort of thing. But the other thing is, if you're going to play slide guitar, you like all your guitars set up like butter.
Oh, right? Yeah, yep.
Very low action. It's kind of hard to play, so you probably get discouraged. And so if you had another guitar, you set it up a little bit.
I never thought about that, but yeah, because I do get a lot of that buzz, and I'm like, does my technique just suck?
Yeah, because you probably can't see it too much on the camera, but I've got mine set up just it's not super high, but it's higher than, you know, if I was to set it up like butter.
Right, so that's like your main axe for if you're playing slide then.
I've got, normally I keep this one half step down, and then I've got my Kramer Telly, one of the Mick Mars models.
Yeah.
I've got it tuned half and dropped. I play with 5 guitars live.
Wow.
So I'm constantly switching between tunings, standard drop, open G and open E.
Do you have someone that hands them to you, or do you got to walk up and grab them?
I have them right there on stage with me. I can't afford a roadie.
We were so fortunate back in the day.
Yeah, I was your roadie.
Yeah, you were. You put Dan Perry.
I joined the band.
You put Dan Perry out of a pedal pushing job.
No, and Eric.
And Eric. He still ended up doing it. Those are good times. Yeah. Okay, move on to number. So, to know the count of guitars your dad has, your dad probably don't even know.
No, probably not.
He's got a
probably more than he needs.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Derek says, "What is your favorite Motley album?" And I'm curious too.
Hands down, the '94 album with Karabi.
Yep.
My dad will tell you. My dad will tell you the same.
Yep, mine too.
And I believe Tommy will tell you the same.
And you believe Nicky won't.
Well, what I find funny about the whole Nicky thing here recently is Nicky said some, negative comments about that album, that it was unfocused or something like that. But yet, right after, they split and then they do a Motley record and stuff, then Nicky starts up Brides of Destruction. Who does he call? He calls John Corabi. So, you see the irony there.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to Corabi and I think, oh my God, this guy is like the perfect rock and roll.
Crap Crab's awesome. He's just a good dude. He's a good singer. He's a good writer. He's a great guitar player. You know.
Yeah.
But Crabs is cool. I just love him to death.
Yeah.
He's just a good dude.
He's awesome. I remember him with the Scream. I'm thinking, man, this is my type of, you know the singers I liked. I mean, Jeff Scott Soto and Ronnie.
You know who produced that?
Produce what?
You know, the Scream album. Eddie Kramer.
For reals?
Yes. Yep. You're talking about Jimi Hendrix guy. You know.
Holy cow! Did not know that.
He came down to pre-production before that '94 Motley tour. And I got to shake the man's hand, and I was just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
another giant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. You know, I think once in a while, like, I've never been one of those like kind of starstruck type people. What's up, Kayla?
Me either. I've been a couple of times.
But
when I met Blackberry Smoke.
Oh, I know you're a Blackberry fan. One second, you are interrupting. What's up?
Sorry. I can't find Grandma, and I wanted to do my laundry, but I can't get a hold of her.
Hi, JoJo.
That's actually Kayla.
Oh,
I'm her twin.
Oh, wow, you sound like your mama.
I know. I look like her too.
Looks like her too. Yeah. Then go ahead and do the laundry. It's fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Okay. Told you, no edits, man. We're just gonna keep all that in.
Wow.
My mom even peeked her head in here a second ago, and I haven't
seen her since she was this big.
I know, huh? But I think she said, "Are you talking to Les?" And then she realized I was recording. So I'm like, I'm leaving it all. I hit record, and that's it.
I just hope my battery don't die.
I know, huh? Let's hurry through these. But anyways, I'm with you on that Motley album. I think it's a masterpiece, man. It's a thing of beauty.
And for those of you that don't want to call that or consider that a Motley record, everybody's good with that. It's still a good musical piece.
That's right.
You know, I don't care what you call it. Yeah, they probably should have changed the name of the band, but hindsight is 2020. You know, it still was 3/4, and it was all three of the members that actually make the music.
That's right.
You know, so it was still
the vibe.
those same guys.
The vibe I get off it is they